Indiana. News, sports, education, and entertainment. Wake Up GI with Jeffrey Smith. Brought to you by the Geary Community Schools Corporation.
All right, we're back, everybody, about 37 minutes after the hour. Once again, it's a beautiful Tuesday. It is the 14th of November, 2023, and this is Wake Up GI with Jeffrey Smith. Once again, shout out to Miss Emily Edwards, the CEO, founder of Paradise Spreads. I got to tell you, I just got through snacking, and it was absolutely delicious. So make sure you go out here and look her up on the internet and go out there and at least give it a shot, because it is some good snacking. All right, we're going to kind of transition right now. A good friend of ours has come into the studio to get us updated about the wonderful events that go on in Edgewater, in particular for the past year that they've been running. And so our good friend LaTanya Woodson is in studio right now. We're going to find out what she's been up to. What's going on?
Good morning.
How you doing? You know, I always get you. Aren't you the health education director? What's your title over there, Edgewater?
Director of Community Health Education.
Okay. See how I butcher things? That's why
That's
I asked you.
okay.
That's why I asked you. You've got a lot going on. I know you were here, it just seemed like just yesterday, but it might have been a couple of months ago, in which we were talking about events that go on at Edgewater, right in the atrium area, in which you have different people that come and speak and inspire people. It's about the mind, body, and spirit, the whole nine. So tell us a little bit about that and how it's been going.
So we have so many different programs going on at Edgewater.
Yes, you do.
I really wish and hope that more people will tune in, follow us on our Facebook page, and even go to our website to learn more about our free program.
Right.
But one of the most successful programs that has been implemented is the Mind, Body, and Spirit Wellness program.
Yeah.
And the reason why it's called that is because this is a great segue. I listened to your prior guest.
Yeah.
And one of the things that she said that really stood out was journey.
Yes.
We all have a journey.
Yep.
Not only with what I heard her speak about, which was food, but with our health as well.
Yeah.
And if you can really want to know, they both coincide with one another.
They really do. Yeah. And so, once again, kind of tell us about the purpose of that event and some of the ones that have been going on previously up until now. Okay.
So, first of all, the Mind, Body, and Spirit is every third Thursday of each month from 12 to 1, and it takes place at our main campus on 1100 West 6th Avenue, located in Geary.
Yes.
So we have several campuses, but on our main campuses, that is where most of our programs, where we have our free programs for our community.
You know what? I forget that all the time, that you all have multiple campuses. We'll get into that, man, because what's kind of crazy is because I think I was at home or whatever, and, we pretty much cut the cable, so I watch a lot of streaming services. And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, this Edgewater thing came on, and I was like, this is Edgewater or whatever. And so you all do have multiple campuses.
Yes, we will get into that.
Okay, yeah, we got to get into that. I got questions.
Celebrated the opening of our Maryville clinic.
Wow.
But to get back to our mind, body, and spirit, basically I call it the 3 E's.
Okay.
Where we engage. We engage the community. We connect with them. You got to connect with people.
Right.
And by doing something consistent, keep talking about something. That's where the connection begins.
Right.
Engaging begins.
Yeah.
And then each one of our topics that we discuss, that's a form of education.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we want to educate the community about what they need to do about nutrition. Last month, we talked about coping with grief. Yeah. And how you can start your healing journey. We had someone else talk. I made a list.
Go ahead. Okay?
So
we like lists.
At the beginning of the year, when the Mind, Body, and Spirit Wellness Program was birthed.
Right.
Dr. Johnson, our CEO, very supportive.
Yes.
Okay. She led the way.
Yeah.
And she spoke
school board member, by the way. Shout out to her.
Exactly.
Yeah. Gotta throw that in.
She lead by example.
Yeah.
Truly. Discovering what you already have. So basically what she does is she's there speaking to us saying, you know what? We're all leaders.
Let's
in
do
our
this.
own right.
Right.
And from the very beginning, she has been very supportive, and she led the way. am being our first speaker.
Nice, right.
In February, we had 2 of our physicians.
Yeah.
Love and happiness, fostering healthy relationships. So we have physicians there who's also husband and wife.
Right.
So they're Dr. Sharon and Marshall James.
Okay.
Dr. Sharon is our OBGYN, and Dr. Marshall James is our family practice and family medicine.
Okay. Makes sense why they're together.
That makes sense. The balancing act of life and wellness.
This was March.
This was March. In May, the benefits of gratitude.
Yeah.
So I can continue.
Yeah.
I can keep going. So that brings in taking care of the whole person, because we talk about the whole component.
Yeah.
Which I love, again, what your other guest was speaking of.
No.
And this is a great,
yeah, opportunity
for people to come in to talk about it.
Now, let me ask you this, Tanya, because you're out in the front lines. I mean, we've come across paths for years, and even when you left Methodist, you started to work with Edgewater, so you kind of are on the ground. You really have been,
boots on the ground,
and so you're kind of in tune with this. And so
mm-hmm.
last couple of times you're here, I always like to kind of pick your brain about mental health, because that's once again something we have to keep front of mind. And, we've all had our little personal encounters, experiences. I had one with that, losing a friend and things earlier this year and all that kind of stuff. But, one of the things that I remember hearing, and this was years ago in school, and you probably know this very well in your occupation, is that while this is a very festive season that we're about to start engaging in, kicking off Thanksgiving next week, going into Christmas, going into the New Year's, it's also a very big time for depression and mental suffering, because sometimes you're thinking about loved ones. Sometimes there's a sense of isolation because your table has gotten smaller.
Exactly.
Your kids might have their families, and as you said, your spouse might not be with you anymore. It's just a whole bunch of stuff going on, and your emotions can overwhelm you. And so what would you tell people out there in the community about how to deal with that? I know there's not one quick way to do it, but as I said, it's always good to be able to talk about these things because it's real. People are going into the holidays and they're not kind of enthusiastic about it.
Everyone's journey is different.
Yeah.
My grieving journey is different from yours.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And there's a certain expectation that comes with the holiday.
Yeah, there is.
And you could feel the pressure of it. But what I would say is, if you feel that you're dealing with something that is lasting longer than normal,
right,
then you need to talk to someone.
Yeah.
And we have those therapists. We have, counselors at Edgewater that is skilled in making sure that you're working together to make sure that you find out what you really what's really going on,
because
how to start that healing journey
and navigate through it, because you're right, it's an ongoing process, and you just need to kind of reach out to you all because you are a valuable resource. Because as I said, I was just reading about this the other day. That's why it's front of mind. And, you kind of forget that, as I said, sometimes it's not so overt. Sometimes you can just be a parent and your kids have gone on and they've got families and then maybe they just can't make it this Thanksgiving, and you just find you're just looking around and your circle has gotten smaller.
And you have to create your own.
Yeah.
My creation may not be the same creation.
Right.
When my children was growing up and my parents were still living, I remember a house full of guests. Now it's not.
It's a little smaller.
It's a little bit smaller, and that's okay.
Right.
And I tell my grown kids now, it's your time. It's your turn.
No, you're not lying. It's the truth.
I'm tired of slaving over the stove.
Give me a ticket. I'm coming over your house.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's okay. Be okay with the season that you're in. And I am okay with the season that I'm in. I don't know.
You know what else? And I'll give him a shout out, my former principal, but he's not the only one. The one thing that I've also learned over the years is that, sometimes you have to gotta get inside yourself and go out here and, travel. Like Dr. Smith throws a great Thanksgiving event. I know a lot of churches and things like that. And while it might seem like, I don't want to go over that, once you get there, it's when you find yourself fellowshipping with other people and you have other human contact, sometimes that can help get you through it. Because
Yes.
also, in addition to depression, we do find that sometimes there's substance abuse issues and alcoholism that takes place over the holidays because of that depression. So, yeah.
Absolutely. And when you attend the Mind, Body, and Spirit, again, we have different topics each month, and we're doing a call out.
Yeah.
So, again, every month since the beginning of the year, we will not have one for next month.
No December one.
No December, simply because now we're trying to prepare for 2024.
You know I was about to go there. I was going to ask you what 2024 looked like, but I'm going to let you go.
Okay. So we want to hear from you.
Yeah.
The city of Gary, the city, the surrounding community.
Right.
If you go on our website, edgewaterhealth.org, go on our website or follow us on our Facebook page. Look at some of the past topics and conversations that we've had. Yeah. Please reach out to me, Latanya Woodson, lwoodson@edgewaterhealth.org. Email me. Let's talk about it. Yeah. I'll schedule some time with you to say, okay, let's devise a topic. Right. Let's pick what month you would like to speak on, and let's go for it, because we're all in this together.
Now, let me ask you this, because I think we've talked about this before, but it kind of comes up, and I think it's, we hear people talking about it all the time in society, and that is the mental health of our youth. And, obviously, during those Thursdays and things like that, most of our young people, I want to assume all of them, are in school somewhere. Right, and so it's kind of impossible to think of them attending an event like this. But I want to ask you, because you all are very much, I want to use that word again, a vanguard when it comes down to what you've been doing for the past however long. It seems like Edgewater's been alive around most of my life.
We're heading up to our 50th celebration in June.
Yeah. So without dating myself, you have been around pretty much all of my life. But anyway, so with that being said, how do you go out here and make yourself available? Because, I don't want to start dumping a lot of stuff on young people and being one of these guys that used to be like when we were growing up, where you're like, this generation has that. But we do see and I blame social media for it, I'm sorry, full disclosure. Yeah. We do see young people taking a lot on. And it's a lot of weight on them. And we are hearing about the increasing suicide rates and all this kind of stuff that are going across demographic type of barriers. I mean, everybody's kind of open to this bullying. All these kind of things are going on. How are you made available to this to these young people?
Edgewater have MOUs with some of our schools throughout the city and surrounding communities, and we have some of our representatives that work with administration or with the teachers. And when there's an episode with the student, then we're called out. Yeah. And so you actually you go into the schools, you have agreements, as you said, MOUs, and so I know that I don't personally go out, but we have someone that do go out, or a team of people that go out. So, whether they want to come make an appointment with their family to come to Edgewater.
Because that's what I was going to ask you. If you're a parent and you're kind of noticing
the entire family.
Okay, great. Because that's what I was wondering.
We look at the student or that teenager or that adolescent. Yeah. But then also, that's a family unit.
Right. And so you deal with them.
Something going on there.
Yeah. And so, that's interesting. So you try to get the whole family unit to kind of engage in this kind of therapy and counseling, but sometimes that's not the case. You're going to have to deal with the individual, or in particular, sometimes you got to just go out here and deal with that young person.
Absolutely.
Interesting. So, as we were kind of teasing, you were kind of recapping this wonderful event. What is the second Thursday of every month?
It's the third Thursday from 12 to 1. It's free. Yeah. No registration required.
None.
Just come.
Yeah. And just come and get a good speech for an hour.
So again, we're going to be talking about seasonal depression.
Yeah, what we were just talking about.
What we just talked about.
See, great minds think alike.
Great minds think alike. Yeah. Dr. Tanya Rogers, she's our Chief Integrative Officer. Right. So she's going to be talking about that. So anyone that is having an episode, or they feel like they're feeling some kind of way, or they're having those anxieties, simply because we're a week or two out before Thanksgiving, which I'm like, I walk in the mall and they already have Christmas.
No, don't give me exactly. They did that the day after. They did that the day after October. They were playing Christmas. I mean, Halloween.
Already, yeah. And it goes back to those expectations.
Right.
You know, just getting us prepared or throwing us into what we know as a season of eating, a season of, you know, making purchases. That
There's so many variables out there right now. You go social media, and then for people that kind of get into Instagram and all that stuff where, you know, obviously you everything's not always what it seems, but sometimes it could be distracting. I'd be disappointing when everybody's looking like they're having such a day.
And sometimes we gotta back away from social
unplug.
Media. I had to. You know?
What? Absolutely. Because it would drive you crazy. I could just imagine, in addition to the normal stuff about the holidays, you going on, if you're on Instagram all the time and everybody's just showing you their glorious decorations and their great cake.
And you kind of looking at your Christmas tree that looked like Charlie Brown.
Exactly.
You know, which I thought was bringing back good memories. But
yeah, it can take you down in the dump. So we appreciate that. Do you mind taking a phone call? I see the phone lady.
Yes.
Okay, let's go ahead and grab a call real quick. Caller, how you doing? You're on with
I missed the name.
LaTanya Woodson. All right, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, when I was in my early 60s, I had an injury. I ended up in rehab, right?
Right.
First floor was rehab. Second floor was dementia. And the third floor was permanent residence. So I saw everybody, when we come to lunch.
Yeah.
I saw everybody in there. I saw people who had dementia, the children, and would come to see them. They didn't know who the children was.
Right.
And the children was crying. I saw all that in that, And so, meanwhile, here is October, right up to Halloween. They start playing Christmas music.
That's what we were just talking about.
Yeah, I begged them people. Hey, I said, y'all shouldn't do that because, around this time, a lot of the elderly get depressed and start leaving here. Do you know the younger folks got mad with me? But anyway, I'm going to get off, but I thought maybe she could tell me something about that.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's kind of what that's what her, the talk, this is coming Thursday, not this Thursday. Well, yeah, it's this Thursday.
It's this Thursday.
It's this Thursday is about, exactly. So, kind of speak to that.
Talking about seasonal depression, but... I want to talk to the gentleman, and we also have programs for our seniors.
Okay.
We have our Chat and Chew. It started in the Cedar Lake community.
Right.
But with us, we're Dr. McCullough.
Okay.
Okay, she is our main physician over in the Cedar Lake community, and everyone knows her.
Right.
And so we identified that there was a large number of seniors that lived there. So we started the Chat and Chew.
Right.
So now with Dr. Njakubi coming on, we're going to be having more programs.
Yeah. In
the Cedar Lake, Maryville, and again, our ongoing programs in our at our Gary campus.
Right.
So yes, I do know that there, the seniors, they empty nesters, and maybe the adult children, they have,
and just guys like me who are irritated when you start playing Christmas music after Halloween.
Yeah, so we have to pay more attention to our seniors. We have to engage them. Yeah. We have to make sure that they're okay. I do agree with what he's saying. Do
you all kind of work with the senior centers and the nursing homes and things like that? Because once again, I could get into my thoughts about, what we do in the West, or in particular here versus other cultures, as we kind of relegate our elders sometimes to these facilities. That's a whole nother conversation. But the reality is that there are some people that are in these places, and the holidays, once again, still come to them as well. And it can be depressing to be inside those places. Even though I know some people that work in there that do their best to make it as cheerful and joyful and as inclusive as they can. The reality, though, is, sometimes you're not in that house that you and your spouse, built together and started that family, and it can get a little heavy on you.
We don't engage so much directly. If many of our physicians, they see a lot of our, seniors of the community, because now, our baby boomers and our generation, what is that?
Don't say Generation X. I don't say Generation X. I see you reaching. We're not there yet. Don't you put us in conversations with Tanya.
But we looking good.
Yes.
Okay. I'm not trying to start anything.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, we were about to take a left turn. Do not put us in that, Latanya. But I know what you're saying. No,
Right.
People are getting older, and of course, we're getting older. Absolutely.
So we have to form our own.
Yeah.
You know, we can't wait for the younger generation.
Right, yeah.
And I understand, you know, they don't understand.
Yeah.
You know, just think about it when we were younger.
Yeah.
Did we fully understand until we got there?
Right.
And now that we're there, like, I have to remind my children.
Yeah.
I can't do all that.
Exactly.
Yes, you can. Yeah. What's going on?
Yeah. I want to, you know,
they want to go roller skating.
Oh.
Can I roller skate? Yeah, but if I fall this time.
See, here we're going down that. We are not there yet, Latanya. We're not going to let you say it. We're talking with Miss Latanya Woodson, of course, from Edgewater. And as I said, they are doing their last in the series of, what are the name of these events called again?
Mind, Body, and Spirit.
Mind, Body, and Spirit.
We've been having them since January of this year.
I remember when you first started.
Consistent, and we're doing a call out.
Yeah.
I'm doing a call out. Please reach out to me, Latanya Woodson, lwoodson@edgewaterhealth.org.
Now, before we kind of wrap it up, tell us a little bit about Edgewater. As you said, you know, it kind of amazes me. You all are spread pretty out.
We're full scope.
You're all over the place.
We started out as a behavioral health center, and we have grown to primary care. We have primary care services.
Wow.
Like I said before, we our main campus is in Gary.
Yeah.
We have one.
So you're doing primary care.
Yes, Cedar Lake, and we just opened our clinic in Maryville. Dr. Jacoby. He is family medicine and integrative medicine health, and we talked about it last time, bringing in that whole holistic component.
Yeah,
he's my doctor. And when I say that he talks about what you were just talking about earlier, nutrition.
Yeah. You know what? When we talk off the mic, I'm going to find out what your old employer and all that is thinking about all that. Because that's absolutely amazing to see the evolution of Edgewater. Because I remember when, you thought Edgewater, you just thought about mental health and kind of dealing with maybe a little substance abuse. But now, as you said, you all are all into medicine and things like that. And so, it's becoming, once again, as a healthcare professional, I want to get off topic.
And when you talk about it, when you talk about it, just keep talking about it. I know that, our culture, our city, we're used to thinking, of eating and what we need to do in one particular way. But just keep educating, keep the 3 E's.
Yeah.
Engaging. What?
Education
and empowerment.
Empowerment. I like that. But like I said, it's getting uber competitive around here. You see what's going on with Franciscan. You got, obviously the Methodist hospitals, North and South Lake. And I just want to give you all kudos for kind of moving into that space and providing valuable resources. I mean, that's absolutely amazing how far you've come.
Thank you. Yeah. We appreciate that. Yeah. And really, we're going to come back. We're going to come back more and more.
Tease us Tease us. Don't bring me into the war room. What's happening in 2024?
In 2024, that's what I want to do. I want to tease you.
Okay.
Because we got something awesome.
Okay.
In January 2024, you may want to just come visit us.
Okay, that third Thursday.
Okay, third Thursday.
Yeah. 12 to 1.
12 to 1 is free.
Okay. All right. Well,
right, Chelsea?
That's right. We'll be there, and we'll broadcast live.
Yeah. Okay. All right. There you go.
And again, the call out.
Yeah, the call out.
The call out. If you know of a topic.
Yeah.
Surrounding the component of mind, body, and spirit. Email me.
Right.
Schedule some time with me, and we can talk about it. And
Absolutely.
I can lead you on.
Absolutely. We want to thank you in all seriousness for taking time out. You're a very busy woman. Once again, to the audience, if you are, once again, we were talking about the holidays and things like that. If you know somebody close to you, know a neighbor, somebody might be a little shut in, first of all, give them a, check on them a little bit, of course, during the holidays. Even that neighbor down the street that you kind of don't, you wave at every once in a while, see how he's doing. And if you know somebody that's really going through it, of course, refer them to the wonderful Edgewater.
And if you're looking for a physician, Dr. Jacoby is taking new patients.
Oh, he is.
5495 Broadway in Maryville.
Yeah.
You can call 844 for Edgewater. And that number is it's 844 for Edgewater to schedule an appointment.
Well said. Thank you, LaTanya. Happy Thanksgiving, by the way.
Happy Thanksgiving to you and your lovely wife.
Okay, and we're not old, by the way. I will tell you, so we're not old. I wanted you to end it on that.